It didn't play our Go video.
Are we already here?
Hello.
Hey, everybody. That was probably the smoothest one ever.
Yes.
Okay, you ready? Let's turn this way.
Should we do a Klaus Kinski?
Yeah. So,
okay.
A Klaus Kinski?
Yeah, it's a Klaus Kinski.
It's a Klaus Kinski. Okay, let's do the Klaus Kinski.
And we're in. Hello, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between. It is 8:30 on Thursday.
Which means it is time for It Should Be About Something. Yes. Hello, all you slurpers out there, all you isberzites, all you isberserkers and isboozers. Get your drinks out and let's do a big welcome slurpy slurp.
This is Michael Smolik.
This is Jim Libby.
Cheers,
and this
brother.
is It Should Be About Something.
Slurp, slurp.
Okay, so for some strange reason our Go video didn't start today, but you know, heck. Maybe we can just do without that shit in future. We'll just go from kitty cats to our lovely faces.
Yeah.
So, there's some new people here today. At least there's one new person here today.
Yeah,
there's Toxic E12T13.
Toxic E12T13. Hello
So-
and welcome. Do you know our friend?
L21T24.
If you don't, you guys should get together.
You really should.
There's something happening here.
Yeah, you'd be
E12T13.
best friends forever immediately. Immediate best friends forever.
Yeah. Andrew's in the house. Hey, buddy. Muchado.
Okay, Slurpee.
Pavlov's dog slurping in the background.
Munchin Machado sounds like a Mexican wrestler. Yeah. But in the mixed sex wrestling arena.
Pardon me?
Munchin Machado.
It's going to be one of those shows, folks.
It's always one of those shows because we've had vodka.
Pavlov's dog, you're right. It wouldn't be as bad without issues.
Yeah.
Just
a nice one.
issues.
Nice one. You know, you shouldn't have corrected that. You should have just left it with
issues. So, Michael.
Toxic E12T13 is like perhaps.
Nice.
Oh, Hatched MV.
Hatched
From
MV,
Romania.
Boom.
It took me a while to figure out who you are, Hatched MV, but I bought that TV from you a couple of years ago, and I was watching YouTube, and Hatched MV turned up on my YouTube. I was like, that's who that is.
It was a smart TV.
It was a smart TV and Hatched
subscribed.
It was subscribed to Hatched, or Hatched MV was subscribed to my smart TV.
We're big fans of Hatched MV.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, me too.
We like those guys.
Yeah.
So, Michael, how has your week been, buddy?
A kind of strong week of white noise.
A strong week of white noise.
But the thing I'm really psyched about is that I finally got something up on Bandcamp.
What?
Yes,
Are you talking about Behind the Firehouse, your music project that has been churning along in the background all this time?
Chuffing and chugging every little note along the way. Yes.
And you've got something up on Bandcamp.
So now I have something on Bandcamp. You can go there and you can listen to it or buy it.
Super cool. You know what I'm going to do, Michael? I knew about this.
Yeah, but you should put it in after the show.
What?
You should put it in after the show.
You mean we're gonna make them all wait?
Yeah, we're gonna make them all wait.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
We can talk about it next
Then there's
week.
going to be no more clues. Apparently, Michael is just going to be titillating you all until the end, but we will put the link to Michael's Bandcamp page at the end.
We will do that. Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
Jeff Vina in the house.
I was watching you on that video from CERN from a couple of years ago.
Wait, I saw that recently too. That popped up on my algorithm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff looked.
Pavlov's going to look for it on Bandcamp.
Yeah, of course she is.
Right.
Pavlov's dog is going to.
Well, Pavlov.
Always on it. On it. Geneva, that's in Switzerland.
It's a nice place, actually. Have you been on Lake Geneva?
I have.
Talking about lakes, do you guys know Aussie Man Reviews? You need to go and check out Aussie Man Reviews. He does this great review of this motorboat accident. Nobody gets hurt, right? Not seriously, anyway.
Not seriously.
Like there's no death or anything, but it is mega funny.
Yeah.
And then, while you're at it, Mom and Pop.
No, it was Drunk Parents or something like that. Yeah. Aussie Man is this great YouTuber from Australia, I think, and he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's loud and rough.
But fuck me, it's funny if you're like into things that go like booty swamp and
Yeah,
spinny swirl slab.
it's a certain flavor, but
Smack it up.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Verena is in the house. Everybody wave to Verena. Verena, wave to the screen. Excellent.
Never gets old, that one.
So you've got a long week of white noise.
I spent like more hours than usual in front of the computer actually doing stuff.
Right.
I tend to get sidetracked when I'm on the computer, and then I'll spend some time on YouTube, and I'll spend some time on Facebook, and some other shit. But like this week, most of the time that I spent on the computer was actually fucking bolts and nuts. It's like I get to one site. The whole Bandcamp thing actually happened because some other site was like, oh yeah, you need to upload some music here because people want to book you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, then. Should do, right? Yeah. So then I was like, okay, yeah, I want to upload my music. And I could only upload my music from either Spotify or Bandcamp. And I'm like, fucking Spotify. But Bandcamp, really cool.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I used to.
Weren't you?
Yeah, I was. And they paid me really, really badly.
Michael was the voice.
I was the voice of Spotify
Germany for a while.
Like 3 years, 4 years.
Fucking crazy.
And those fucking assholes. I mean, they screw everybody for money, don't they? So the deal was originally, yeah, Michael, we want you to come in and do this Spotify gig, and it's going to be like a ton of work. We're just going to have you in every fucking week. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they were like, well, we want a special deal. I'm like, fine. So I gave them a special deal. And then they got the special deal, but they only hired me like 3 times a year. But I went in and did the special fucking deal. So fuck those guys. And part of my fucking deal was, I said, yes, I'll do it, but I want a lifetime subscription to Spotify.
And did they give it to you?
They were like, yeah, sure.
Never gave it to you.
And then I said, so where's my lifetime subscription?
Yeah.
And they say, so our algorithm our computer program can't actually do that. So here's what, you need to buy it, and then we'll refund you.
And did you do that?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Like, fuck those guys.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
So I went to Bandcamp. And Bandcamp seemed to be pretty cool. So I worked it out actually. I've sold music on Spotify and Amazon before.
Yeah.
Right. And when I got my total of how many units I'd sold, it was so little money that it was below the figure that you have to reach so that they'll actually transfer the money to you. So my money's still lying there. I just can't access it because I think it's like less than 30 euros. Okay?
Yeah.
So if I sell like 100 singles on Bandcamp, I get like $82.
Right.
If I sell them at €1 each.
Right.
If I sell 100 singles on Spotify for $1, guess how much I get?
How much?
0.01 cent. 0.0.
So that means you sold enough though to get $30, which is a ton of people clicking on your music, and I think that is awesome. However, fuck those motherfuckers because they made their money.
They did.
They made their money on you.
Yeah, and there's probably something in there as well that if I don't claim the money within like 5 years, then they get to keep it.
Yeah. Philly girls in the house, hello.
Hey, Madam Oral History, nice to have you back.
My week was fine.
Well, I was going to ask you about your week. So, Jim, what was your week like?
Well, it was fine.
It was a week?
I realized that I don't go out of the house much. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've got some projects happening. I've got some things moving. But I don't go out of the house very much. And so today, when I left the house to come to the studio, it was wonderful.
You were knocked over by how much was going on?
The sun was shining. There were people out. Shops were open. I didn't realize the shops had opened. I missed that.
Yeah, you don't watch enough television.
No, I don't watch television. And it was really, really nice just to be out and seeing that. That was cool. So that's been a highlight of my week.
Cool.
Yeah.
You didn't get a haircut yet?
No, but I found out now that the shops and the hairdressers are open. So next week, no promises, but either this is going to be shaped, coiffed, Scaped.
What was the word that you used?
It was the word you were looking for.
Beardscaped.
Beardscaped? That was the word you were looking
Facescaped.
for. Facescaped. We're going to facescape it. It's either going to still be there scaped or it's going to have escaped. I don't know yet. But I'm excited to go to the hairdresser again.
I'm excited for him to go to the hairdresser as well.
Yeah, Michael hates my beard.
Now he started calling it hairdresser.
You know.
It's like we used to go to the barbers, but now we're going to the hairdresser. It's since he grew that beard, he's gone all pansy on me.
Whatever.
So,
I tell you this, Michael.
yes.
For all the people who are joining us for the first time, if you are not on the chat yet, please go ahead and get on the chat. Say hi. We'd love it to know when people are out there. But if you want to remain a slurper, a lurker outside, that's cool too.
Yes, you can drink on your own.
If this is the first time you're coming to It Should Be About Something, you should know that It Should Be About Something comes to you in 3 parts. We call them chapters, and our first chapter is coming up right now.
I think that was an extremely smooth transition.
It was pretty damn smooth.
Like the whole run up, and then
Man.
the tech worked, and I think the music played, and
Segue.
an angel moved through the room. So, slurpers and Isbazites, road rage.
We're going to talk about road rage, people. And so, what we want to know is, what is it that triggers your road rage? And if you don't drive a car, what triggers your U-Bahn rage? What
Your
triggers
pedestrian,
your pedestrian rage?
your skateboard rage, your bikers rage.
What triggers your rage?
Yes.
So,
Stick that in the chat, and we'll critique it.
Yeah.
We'll review it.
we'll talk about it. Michael, are you a road rager?
Well, I'm an avid driver, so yes, I am a road rager.
Yeah.
I think I've got less ragey than I used to be.
Yeah.
A lot less ragey.
Yeah.
But I can still rage on.
Yeah.
I can rage against the machine and everything.
I think there's a road rager in me too. I don't drive nearly as much as you do. I often enjoy driving when I do, but I don't often do it. But there is definitely a road rager in me sometimes.
So what is it that gets you?
Well, I think generally for me, road rage comes out either from a sense of righteous indignation, fear.
Oh, when your life has been endangered by some cunt.
Yeah. So it's righteous indignation, and what I mean by that is my road rage gets triggered when I know I am in the right and that motherfucker is in the wrong, and I'm gonna let him know about it.
Are you a honker?
You know.
So letting them know about it is actually, I don't think that is that often incorporated in road rage actually, because a lot of the road rage takes place behind the windscreen with the windows up.
Agreed. So the point being is that the rage, of course, is almost always impotent, right? Unless you get out of the car and start swinging the baseball bat.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest part about that rage is that I think it has something to do with being alone, right? When you're in a car.
It's like screaming at the telly.
Yeah. You're in that car and it is your world. And in a lot of ways, you kind of forget about the outside world.
Yeah.
You show me somebody picking their nose in a car and I'll show you somebody who thinks no one can see them.
Yeah, because you don't show your rage in the same way when you're on public transport.
Exactly.
It's always inward raging.
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that cured me of my road rage was riding with other people.
Because, you say riding?
Driving with other people,
right.
with other people in the car. Because road rage for a passenger can be very scary.
Yes.
Because for you, it's just you, doing your own motherfucker, and you know how impotent this rage is. But have you had that experience?
Oh no, I've had that experience.
Where you are driving and your passenger sees this side of you for the first time, and they get scared of it.
Yes. No, that is exactly my experience. Christina gets scared of me when I rage like that.
Yeah.
So I've
bet.
kind of tried to take it down a little bit. Yeah.
I bet, and because it can look so crazy, but I think it is because we know it's fairly impotent, and it has a lot.
You're just letting it out.
You're just letting out that steam and that frustration because of the indignation or because of the fear, because the motherfucker just was incompetent. Yes, Andrew. That's
Toyota Camry drivers. You're
so racist. Yes. No indications. Somebody does that and swerves into your lane, and then all of a sudden your life has been endangered. The life of the person. Are you one of the? Do you do this? I was talking to somebody recently, and they told me I'm one of these people. I do this. Like, we're going to stop short.
Yeah, I don't like people to do that, and I don't do that.
You don't do that?
No.
I don't know. I think it's a mom thing. I think
it's
I
a
learned
mom
it from
thing
my
as well.
mom. I mean, of course it is.
Christina does that to me.
Yeah.
When she's driving.
I think it's sweet. I didn't realize I did it, but I can see how.
I actually think it's dangerous to do it.
Do you?
Yeah, because if you make a habit of doing that, you're taking one hand off the wheel in what could potentially be a dangerous situation.
Uncle Mike dropping some truth bombs. I hear you. I totally hear you.
It's like you could break your nose on the wheel.
Then, just do it every once in a while when you know you're in a controlled situation, because it gives your passenger the feeling that they're safe.
I'm touching you. I'm touching you.
Yeah, and it's also a good booby grab.
It's a booby grab thing, yeah. So, I'm the Dalai Lama. I don't know, Rage. Your name's Toxicy12T13. You are not the Dalai Lama. Forget that. Nobody believes you.
I do not.
You can't come here for the first time and lie to us. We've been drinking for years.
Toxic E12T13 is like in the electric car, singing along to the Om of the electricity. Om, Om.
So,
Kathy Tanner in the house.
Hey,
Hello,
Kathy. So Verena's is like usually an MD license plate, and yes, there are definitely certain license plates that are more annoying than others. To me, it's not the MDs, it's the NKs. The fucking NKs, man.
Who are the MKs?
NK is Neunkirchen.
Neunkirchen.
They are
the worst drivers?
The worst drivers
and
in Austria.
MD for the people in the house here?
Mödling.
Is Mödling.
Yeah, I don't actually mind Mödling so much.
In Maine?
Yeah.
People who came up from Massachusetts are terrible drivers.
Right.
One of the reasons is because in Maine, when you are getting off of a roundabout, you have the right of way. But in Massachusetts, when you're getting onto the roundabout, you have the right of way.
That is a ridiculous idea. Having the right of way when you get onto the roundabout is bescheuert.
I know. And so Massachusetts drivers, when they would come to Maine, they would have this back-assward way of looking at things and would be terrible drivers. And they're terrible drivers anyway. And we would call them massholes. Which I always
That's
loved
pretty good.
as a kid. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
People who own a Toyota Camry own the most antiseptic cars on the planet and aren't interested in driving or building driving skills. Hence rage.
Andrew, don't hold back. I feel like you really need to get this out. Dude.
So actually, Toyota is one of the manufacturers that I really like. I think they make very, very sturdy cars. But having said that, they've made some very, very antiseptic vehicles. And you're right about that. And it takes a particular type of person to go out and say, oh, I want to buy that one. So I want to get that one. I want to get that one. Even if it's secondhand. Yes, that's the one I want to get.
So 2 things. 1, Kathy Tanner, men with hats, is what triggers Kathy's rage. Because, Kathy Tanner is the oldest and smallest improviser in the world. And so you can imagine.
Have you never been behind one?
A man in a hat?
Well, it's the hat drive. It's like, that's...
I see what she's saying. I just thought she meant men with hats because wherever Kathy goes, if the dude's got a hat on, she's not going to be able to see. She's not going to...
You can't
You're talking about... Oh, yeah. You mean like the Austrian knuckle drivers.
What are knuckle drivers? It's good. We're getting all these nice words out here. Nice vocab for you there.
Okay, so knuckle drivers are generally old people, which is what I'm assuming men with hats are. You know, like the hat. You know,
well, basically,
German,
like farmers, you know, peasants coming into town and driving with their fucking hats on.
Anybody wearing a hat driving. And so the knuckle drivers were like old ladies, where all you could see over the steering wheel were a pair of knuckles, because they would often look like through the hole of the steering wheel and drive like this. And so we call them knuckle drivers.
Ooh, anybody from Brandenburg? My God.
Men with hats. What's up with them?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that should be a chapter, because
men with hats.
Yeah.
So country bumpkins.
Well, no. I just think men and hats, not men with hats. Let's talk about men and hats.
Well, the thing is about a hat. If you're going to wear a hat in a car or inside a house, you're a particular type of idiot.
Yes, of course. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, for in the future, another chapter that we do a thing about hats.
Yes.
I just wanted to put that out there.
Right. Okay. Yes.
So, the second thing that I wanted to mention was Nathan Merle in the house.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
So you're here for the first time. When we drink, everybody drinks, because our mics are always on, so you can hear us slurping. So
I forgot about that.
Get your drink, Nathan.
So indiscriminate.
Yes.
Way slurping.
Just
cheers.
Slurp with us, mate. Nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Right.
That was very intrusive slurping.
Well, I wanted to be, have our new guests impressed about the show.
So, Michael, besides...
It's a visceral show.
Besides the road rage, give me what triggers your rage in public transportation.
So, my absolute favorite pet peeve is people who get out of public transport in front of you and then they stop.
Oh, okay. All right, I hear you.
It's like you're in the bus and you're getting off the bus and you're going from the bus to the Straßenbahn or the U-Bahn or whatever. They get off and they stop and you're still in the bus. Yeah. It's like you're stepping into their back.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Keep it moving, people.
If you don't know where you're going, get out of everybody else's way.
Okay, the one that I hate is on public transportation. You get off first and then people come on.
Oh, right. Yes.
First aussteigen.
Yes.
Dann einsteigen.
But there's a way to deal with those ones, because
I push them.
Well, they're coming in, so I just stand in front of them and wait for them to get out of my way.
Yeah. Oh, right. I high status the shit out of those people. Or sometimes I've been known to yell, erst ein... Oh, God.
Yes, I'm on my second vodka as well, Pavlov. It's that kind of day. Heck, let's just go for it.
Yeah, I yell at them. Faller of Clay in the house, hello. Christina Lasmulik. Aw, how you doing, sweet?
And then there's the inverted version of that.
Which is?
It's the people who have to get on the bus or the train before you. It's like they will scuffle and jostle you.
Right.
And then they've got on the bus and then they're going to stand right there. It's like there's still 50 people who want to get on the bus behind them, but they're on, oh, okay, right, I'm here. Then, you have to make them move further into the bus or work round them. And then, they don't think. They're going one stop. So they have to get on the bus first, then be in everybody's way. Then you have to push them to the back of the bus. But they're only going one stop. Why don't they get on last? No, now they're at the back of the fucking bus and they want to get off first.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with tourists in any place. When they walk in, they stand in the doorway like, oh, look at this, isn't this?
It's a hotel. Maybe we can get a room.
It's a doorway. You have doors where you come from. You know how doors work.
This is what rage looks like.
Keep it moving.
Ah, good. This is going to be good promo material for next week.
What about, Michael?
Yes?
What triggers your road rage when you're on a motorcycle?
Well, I have to be careful about the road rage on the motorcycle because, excuse me, I'm very often not alone. Mm-hmm. And we have helmet-to-helmet communication. So when I'm screaming at other people in the traffic, my wife's actually getting it at high volume.
Of course.
So I've tried to kind of take that down. But what I've done on the motorcycle is, it's not a small motorcycle. It's a 1,000 cubic. I've installed a truck horn.
What does it sound like?
Brrr.
Like way bigger than it should be.
It sounds way bigger than it should be, right?
Nice.
So a couple of months ago, we're traveling down
Wait, how does it sound again?
Okay. It's like, oh! No, it doesn't do that. It just goes,
what does it do? Okay.
So we're heading down the highway, and we're in the right-hand lane, and there's a guy in the middle lane, and he just changes lanes without looking, and I fucking hate people who can't look over their shoulder. There's a blind spot there. You have to look there. You can't just fucking change your lane and go, I'm going to change the lane now. So I'm in his blind spot, and he changes the lane just like that in front of me, and I hit the horn. The horn's so fucking loud, and it sounds like it's a fucking truck coming down the highway.
But how does it sound?
I'm not going to do it again.
Please, just do it.
And it was this little
so
car.
Boring.
It was a little
to your story.
It was a little car.
Do it again.
And he yanked the steering wheel so hard that the car almost jumped out of the lane. So it's very effective.
I think that's a really good
Actually,
idea.
the first time I used it, and Christina was on the bike with me, she thought there was a truck hooting at us because it was so loud.
I liked, because Andrew, when Andrew was living here, and he's a very big guy, which he mentioned, in those moments where you have terrible Austrians who do not know how to queue, and that is absolutely true. I got Andrew to do it a couple of times, like Andre the Giant from The Princess Bride. Everybody move! Everybody move! And then he would just walk through and we'd be like, in the wake. It was amazing.
I had a friend who would do that. He used to work as a waiter, and he'd just say, heiß und fertig, and everybody gets out of the way.
Heiß und fettig is good. Big hello to Vienna Theatre Project. Hello.
Yes,
Joanne.
I was just talking about this thing, the getting off the plane, right? So when you're in one of those smaller planes, and there's only one bus coming to pick you up, and you're off somewhere on the apron, right? And there's people behind you with their elbows in your eye, and they have to get off the plane immediately.
I love this when they're like waiting.
Yeah.
And they're standing here like this, waiting the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm just gonna get this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. I'm just gonna wait.
And you're like, dude, there's a bus. You can see it through the window. That's we're all gonna get on that bus.
We're all gonna get on that thing. We're all gonna get on
But
that.
no, they have to get out before you. And then I like to sit. I like to sit and watch them. I said, no, good. You just go. Yeah, good, go. And then I get my stuff sedately and casually, and I walk out to the bus.
Do people
while they wait for me
walk down the street slowly, 3 abreast, on purpose?
They do. So I don't know. I think lots of people are just completely oblivious of the connection that they have to their surroundings.
That's right. Which is one of the reasons that I believe everyone should learn how to improvise.
Yeah.
Because it just helps. Take a dance class.
Watch what's going on around you. Yeah.
Just have to have your attention on the outside a little bit.
A dance class is a really good analogy.
Oh man, you learn so much about yourself and how you are in space and what is around you. Just learn to get a little bit of an eye for the field.
Try not to, pack your partner or your baggage into someone else.
But just look around. It's so much nicer to help.
Sunday drivers when you're on the way to work. Oh yes. So emergency corridors don't actually get my rage up so much. It's when people insist on doing emergency corridors when there's no fucking reason to. It's like, oh, the traffic's slowing on the highway because there's a lot of traffic. Oh, let's all do this. No, that's dangerous. Let's not do that. It's like only when the traffic has come to a grinding halt is when you do the emergency thing. Otherwise, don't do that.
But then if it is going to happen, do it right. Just do it.
Yeah, then just fucking do it. Oh,
Then just do it.
people who drive down the emergency corridor. Fuck, they annoy me.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm done with road rage. I'm finished with road rage. I don't even want to think about the rage anymore. Rage against the road.
Okay. Walking slowly in pedestrian zones. Yeah, but okay. But we in Vienna have a pedestrian zone that is open to bicycles. So no matter how fucking fast you're walking in the pedestrian zone, there's always bicycles out there trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the next war is going to be everybody against bicyclists in Vienna.
I can't believe we did an entire chapter
Center
on
lane
something
lovers.
that Michael would just be ranting about.
No, I've actually done this whole thing for Pavlov. I think this was either Pavlov or Machado was so into road rage. So
Going out to you, dedicated to the ones we love. Michael, that's it. We're
Yeah.
done with chapter 1.
Good.
It is time to move on.
Moo!
Chapter 2 on
What intimidates you?
So that's going to be our big question right at the top of this chapter.
If you're intimidated by something or someone, yeah, drop us a line in the chat.
What is it that intimidates you?
So I think intimidates is an interesting word as well to use for this type of thing because it's different to being scared of something.
That's right. That's right. It's I kind of think it lies somewhere between being afraid of something and having a healthy respect for it. So if you were to blend healthy respect and fear, it would be for me intimidation.
Right.
So I have a healthy respect for the ocean.
Ah.
Because I know how powerful the ocean can be. I know, well, especially the Atlantic where I grew up is a, grumpy old lady. And so I have a healthy respect for the ocean. I'm not afraid of the ocean, but I have a healthy respect for it. I am afraid, I have a fear of the desert.
Right.
No, I don't have a fear. I have a fear of death.
Right.
I have a fear of death, which is something I'm afraid of. But
So also death by thirst.
no, forget about the thing I said about
forget about the desert.
Just
Okay.
I switched desert for dead. Follow me, Michael.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay.
I'm following.
I have
Yep.
a healthy respect for the ocean. I have a fear of death.
Yes.
I am intimidated by the desert. I don't have a fear of it, but it intimidates me because I don't have nearly as much interaction with it. And because I'm an ocean person, the desert for me holds a lot of fear, but I'm not afraid of it. I would love to go there. I want to experience it, but I'm intimidated by it.
Right.
The endlessness, the sameness, the locked in of it all. Anyway,
Interesting.
so for me, that's where I'm looking at intimidation. Of it's not a healthy respect, it's not fear, but it's that mix of the two.
See, that's very interesting. I think intimidation means different things to different people, and everybody has a different interpretation of what intimidation means for them.
Sure, but I'm just trying to get a basis.
Yeah,
for
no,
something
sure,
like that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, like when I was thinking about what intimidates you today, I realized that I would most often use that word for people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
that's a great place for intimidation.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Marcus just said that he was intimidated by Andrew. I can totally understand that. So people are super intimidating.
Yeah.
Who's somebody that intimidates you?
Well, we spoke a couple of weeks ago about who's the adult in the room. I don't quite remember what the topic was. It was like, when do you finally feel grown up?
Okay.
And we realized that it depends a lot on the situation that you're in.
Right.
And walking into a place as a kind of noob,
Right.
and there is someone who you either owe respect to, want a job from, knows their way around, those are situations those are people I find dealing with those people is intimidating.
So people that you want something from.
Or need something from.
Or need something from. Intimidate you.
That kind of intimidates me. Yeah.
Right. I hear you.
It's like also on phone calls. I was doing this today as well because I called my doctor, and that's like, it's always intimidating talking to them because I get tongue-tied about what it is I actually wanted to talk about because they're kind of like, Kurt, what's going on? What do you want? What do you need?
Right.
So I rehearse those phone calls before I make them.
I hear you. I get that with taxes.
Yeah, I rehearse those conversations as well.
I actually think the way I'm intimidated by taxes, I think leans far more on the fear scale on that side of the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm intimidated. But people that I'm intimidated by. Do you remember the singer Anastasia?
Yes.
She intimidated me.
Did you meet her?
No. And that's one of the reasons that I didn't meet her, because she intimidated me.
She wanted to meet you.
There was a situation where I had seen this interview with her, and she was incredibly erudite. She was smart and funny and just had this power.
Right.
And I remember watching this interview and saying to the person I was with, that is an intimidating person. I mean, that person, she was, at that time, was just on top of it and just was so genuine and gave off such a light of authenticity. I'm not talking about her music at all. I'm just talking about her as a person.
Yeah.
And then maybe a couple of years later, I was at a function and she was there, and somebody was like, "We can go over," and I was like, "Nope." Nope, not gonna do it.
Right.
Not gonna do it. I don't even want to. Maybe it was because I was having whatever reason. I just did not want to test that boundary of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because she intimidated me so much. What's going on?
I don't know what the hell Toxic is talking about. I Googled it and I'm more scared of them.
The follower of Clay on the chat had. We can talk about this later. But
the clown core.
He recommended something.
Right, okay, yeah. Yes, so Intendanten, theater directors, that's the same kind of person that I feel intimidated by as well.
Right. Those people really don't ever intimidate me, interestingly. Because I think partly because I almost always walk into that room being completely comfortable with not getting the job. It's rare that I'm in a position that it all depends on something. There are some times that I really would like to get it, but generally I am very happy with not having gotten it. I will be fine with not having gotten it.
It's not always about getting it or not.
I know.
It's about dealing with people who are actually, like little emperors in their own little things,
And this is what gets that intimidation away from me, because those emperors they're always naked.
Right.
They're always naked. And so generally I go in there, into those rooms with a feeling of curiosity. Of, okay, who is this person? What sort of flavor of emperor are they?
Right.
What sort of flavor of naked are they? Because they all are. They all
it's true.
are.
It's true. I think that's a good way of dealing with that. Getting the car checked at the MTT is intimidating. Of course it is. Because those guys do that all day. That's all they do, and they only deal with people who are intimidated by them.
Okay, that is a type of person that I'm intimidated by. It's actually a job. It's that working man guy thing, where I've gotten better at it, but I used to be totally intimidated by mechanics, by plumbers. Electricians.
Yeah.
Any of those super manly man dudes that do manly man
Well, we're going to
things.
have to change the cavunculator on your quadrupulator, and it's going to cost $800.
Because they always look at you with the eyes of, I know you can't do this. And in my mind, I'm equating that with your impotence. You know what I mean? Or something of that ilk. There's always that.
But you never manage to actually think that clearly in the moment, do you?
No, of course not.
When they're doing
of course
that
not,
thing.
because intimidation is that mix of healthy respect and fear, and in
you
that
kind of
moment,
shut down.
You kind of absolutely. It's almost always the unknown, right? Like there have been people in our Freundeskreis, or if people have some sort of celebrity, if you have an image of somebody, then you're not meeting that person. You're meeting the aura of
the persona
everything.
of that person.
The persona, and also the history and context of everything. So it's not just that plumber in this sense. It's all of those dudes. It's not just this slightly famous person or whatever. It's all of that.
But maybe the intimidation is also your lack of being famous. It's your lack of being the plumber dude. It's your lack of coping with those situations, or having the training to deal with those situations that intimidates you when you meet someone like that. That's intimidating. I think it's because you're not on that person's level.
Well,
that's
it's a status
that's where
thing.
the intimidation comes
Absolutely,
from.
absolutely. Yeah. The intimidation is always a status thing, and that status, we have to always remember, is given. We give people status. You can do a lot of things to establish your own status, but unless that status is given to you, then it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But that thing about being intimidated by Handwerker is also kind of the thing of, there is a certain pride. Because most of my family, except, not my immediate family, but like my cousins, they were all mechanics. And there are people that I love, people that I know, but there is a pride in the worker of that, the blue collar pride, that also part of it is that separates you from the other person. So it's not just an intimidation thing where they are actively trying to intimidate, but it's also, you're not part of the club.
Yeah.
And that feels intimidating.
Yeah.
Especially when you are in a relationship with somebody who's right there. And that happens a lot, I think. When I first was hanging out with the Crumbs, Lee White and Steve, those guys were intimidating.
Yeah.
Because they had their own club of two.
Right.
That nobody was allowed into, and that was tough. And that was tough. And I think that happens a lot because we often feel outsided. And until we get a look inside, or until we realize they're naked,
right,
then that intimidation is always there.
Intimidated by driving instructors you've been having refresher classes with. I'm so happy that you're having refresher classes.
And
because this will combat any road rage that might be directed at you in the future.
Yeah. Maybe we can transform our road rage into like road horniness. Just remember, they're all naked.
Not if they're knuckle drivers.
No.
Gotta get to my Sunday bakery, otherwise I'm gonna miss out on the muffins. Gotta get them muffins.
I'm gonna get my
click, click,
I'm
click,
gonna
click,
drive
click,
3
click,
miles a
click,
fortnight.
Click, 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 click. Okay,
I think there's lots of bad driving instructors out there. I think there's lots of bad driving instructors out there. And I think driving instructors are people who can be very intimidating.
Let's take a quick look here and see what's happening.
Because you get road rage as well from them. They're raging at you because you're being a bad driver.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like you're the passenger, but you're actually on the driver's side, and you're getting road rage. It's a combination of intimidation and road rage. It's just, what was the word we had last week?
I can't help you with any of this, Michael. I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
It's
serendipity.
Serendipity. Yes, road rage and intimidation had a baby, and it's called driving instructors.
Pavlov's dog. Well, I was intimidated by Jim seeing you just on stage until I had a workshop with you, and after the show you shared a nugget of knowledge with me. A nugget of knowledge, probably like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. You deserve that nugget, though.
Yeah, you're just as clueless as I was. Yeah. Yep. I think that's one of the most reassuring things. You know, there has been times in my life where I have recognized that I am intimidating somebody. Generally, I don't see it, but sometimes you see it. And if I notice it, I try to, let it go. Like there's a lot, like Keith Johnstone. He had Keith Johnstone, famous improv theoretician and lovely
Theoretician.
man. Theoretician. Theater maker. It sounds so hobby-nobby. I mean, he was just a wonderful guy. But because Keith was so intimidating to a lot of people, because a lot of people were giving him so much status, what he would often do, he would often pretend on the first day of a workshop, he would pretend that he was a little sick. By pretending that he was feeling a little under the weather, it would lower his status, and people would gain status because they would take care of him.
They'd like feel sorry for him and stuff.
Yeah, and they'd be a little more vorsorglich. He was never sick, but he would always pretend.
Interesting ploy.
Robert Redford would do the same thing. Robert Redford would do something similar. He, because of his status at the time, I mean, that guy was...
What status at the time? He still has that status.
But, I mean, he's a god. And he would, in every film, he would trip, stumble just a little bit to lower his status, to make you forget it's Robert Redford, this undimable star, and that it's just a human being there.
He's clumsy.
And that is
interesting.
Such a big thing. And it sounds, I love those apocryphal Hollywood stories because they're just brilliant. And the status games that get played are amazing. But I think if we are aware of those things, and when we recognize that we're intimidating somebody else, maybe that is what we want to do. But if it's not, it's always good. The easiest thing is to just lower your status. I'm not saying that's what I was doing to you, Pavlov's dog. It's absolutely true. I generally do not have any idea what I'm doing. So that nugget of knowledge was not a ploy.
You probably paid for that workshop, Pavlov, and you bought that nugget of knowledge. It's yours. You own it.
God damn it.
You deserve it. So actually, the whole IMTC thing is like a combination of road rage and intimidation as well, because I've often been to the IMTC and they will tell you a ton of things that are wrong with your bike or car.
Yeah.
And that you need to get all this shit fixed.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've just gone, fuck you guys. And I go to a cheap mechanic and I get half of that stuff fixed.
Right.
And I still get a roadworthy ticket.
Right.
Because, it's like, I mean, come on. Sometimes they just present you with a fucking huge list of crap and you're like, really? Seriously?
Yeah.
It's not roadworthy if the speedometer is not working? Come on. Come on. Just because it's got a speedometer doesn't mean it has to work. I can use my phone. I can drive the same speed as everybody else.
I'm starting to drool now because I'm making fun of you. All right, Michael. I tell you what, I think we've covered a lot of...
Are we moving on from this?
Well, I think we should, unless... I think we covered everything.
Muchado, where are you going? Sorry to see you.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where Muchado goes.
Machado.
You don't ask, you don't
Machado's got a
like
stuff.
the wind.
Yeah.
Machado is like it's like Nigel the cat. Comes into your life and leaves your life. And we're just happy when Machado's around.
Nigel the cat probably belonged to one of those knuckle drivers.
Nigel was a paw driver.
In a previous life.
But Nigel's head was always, steadfastly above the steering wheel. All right. I think that was chapter 2, and we should move on.
Yeah, good job.
But, Michael...
Are we doing a slurpy slurp first?
Yes, we are. And before we move on to chapter 3...
Cheers. We're the voiceover for the Arsenal match.
We're currently the voiceover for the... Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It's watching, I see.
What?
I think we should have a word to our sponsors.
Word to our sponsors. Yeah. Dang. Here we go. That poor guy keeps banging his head against that wall.
Oh yeah, they can hear us, so I don't know.
They can hear us, yeah. Why are you whispering?
I don't know. Why can they hear us? This should be our time where we have it, you know, like just a breather, but we're not on.
Oh,
Now,
of course, I said I could. Do that. Back to the show.
We're back to the show.
Shall we just move straight on? Moving straight on?
Before we move straight on, I'm gonna remind everybody that at the end of the show, we're going to put in a link to Michael's music project, Behind the Firehouse. It's on Bandcamp now, and so you'll be able to check it out for yourself, but it's gonna be at the end of the show.
At the end of the show. Here we go.
Did we turn the mics back on?
Yes, we did.
Chapter 3 on your best restaurant experience. So, if you know the place, the name of the place and where it is, put it in the chat.
Oh yes, we want to go there.
If you've got recommendations in that sense, go for it. But what we're wondering right tonight is, what's your best restaurant experience? Why was it good? What was it?
Yeah, it doesn't have to just be a place. It could be a place that was unexpectedly good. It could be just the food.
Your best restaurant experience, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Hit us up. We're going to talk about that right now, but before we do, Marcus says we should accept crypto.
Marcus, you are welcome to come and set that up for us, dude.
In fact, if there is anybody out there that is into crypto, funnily, we were talking about this earlier. If anybody's out there that knows how to do that, get in touch with us, because we'll make that happen.
We will buy you drinks. You can come here to the studio for a live show. You could sit over here, left and right of the camera, have drinks with us.
Yeah.
During the show, and yeah.
We have Maßnahmen. We have COVID safe rules.
We do.
So
the whole thing.
It'd be awesome.
Crypto.
Yes.
KFC was unexpectedly good.
All right, don't look at the chat yet. We got to let people get a chance to get in here. But by the way,
that has brought up an aspect of best restaurant experience that I think we should get into.
But did you notice who wrote this? It's L21
T24. Yeah.
Have you ever seen L21 T24 in the same room as
Toxic E12 T13? No way!
This is amazing. They are in the same place. Oh, it's a match made in heaven.
Okay, so what L21 T24 just made me realize is that there are restaurant experiences that you have as a kid that you cherish, that are gold.
Sure. So, do you have...
things change.
Well, okay.
Well,
so
KFC was one of them.
KFC was a...
When I was a kid, KFC was
that was the thing?
Bee's fucking knees.
Nice.
It was so good. And I'm not vegetarian, but fuck me, that KFC coleslaw was just heaven.
So when I was a kid, the place to go was a place called Shakey's.
Uh-huh.
And it was this shitty little dive bar pizzeria that had a bar that would serve my dad all day long. But they had the best pizza, they had popcorn, they had picnic tables inside, and they played Three Stooges movies all day long.
Perfect. Excellent. Great place to go. We should go there now.
I wish it was still
this should go on our bucket list.
Yeah. So yeah, being a kid, you know, you've got super restaurant experiences, but we're talking about.
I think
adulthood.
we should talk about.
So,
adults, yeah.
Do you have a favorite, or do you have one of your favorites?
I think I do have an absolute favorite that is very, 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 very difficult to top.
Okay.
It's a place called Panama Jack's.
Panama Jack's.
And it's on the waterfront in Cape Town.
Panama Jack's on the waterfront in Cape Town. You heard it here first.
Unfortunately, they've moved house. Now, they used to be in the freight area of the harbour. So you had to go in through the tax bar, and you had to say, I'm going to the restaurant, and they'd let you in, they'd write down your number plate, and then you could drive up there, and it was in part of this warehouse. So the fishing boats would come in and they'd unload the fish fresh right there in the harbor. And this restaurant was right in the middle of all these warehouses.
Okay, so now before you go further, tell me, how did you find out about this place?
It's a place. It's a place that my parents know.
Okay, so it's an open secret. That was a normal thing to go through the thing and the stuff and the stuff.
But you had to kind of know about it.
Right.
But it was an open secret. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so you get in there and you're in like the middle of the fish market in a restaurant.
No, you're in a warehouse.
Yes.
In the harbor.
Yes.
There's no fish market.
Okay. But it's just a warehouse down where all the fish are coming in.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, in the harbor.
But there's it's a container harbor as well. So it's like entirely it's an industrial area, right?
So you get in
and it's this plastic tent inside the warehouse.
Okay.
With this rough floor and cheap tables and handmade out of cement pool with lobsters in it.
Nice.
Kind of dodgy.
Right.
But the food was just unfucking believable. It's the best seafood I've ever had in my life.
Was the service also so not nice? Was it like not that was not nice, but you know what I mean? Like
they were.
Did it match the decor?
Yes, it definitely it matched the decor, but it was friendly.
Okay.
It was very off the cuff and lackadaisical, right? But definitely the best fish I've ever had. And we had a ton of different fish. It was heavenly.
Right.
I can still taste the fish when I think of it now, right?
That's a good one.
And I've been back to that restaurant, but they've moved. They're still in the harbor area.
But they're in a more accessible location.
No, they're in a much more highfalutin, and they've got a balcony and you look out over the Albert and Victoria Basin and stuff like that. And it just isn't the same. And the food is not as good as
of course.
Right? They've got a new cook or something.
I know. So I got one of these places. I had a birthday. This is a number of years ago. And a bunch of friends got together. I was in Berlin, and they surprised me by taking me to a restaurant on the Spree. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was on an island in the Spree, but I don't know.
Islands in the Spree, that is what we are.
And I can't remember the name of it. Somebody's going to come up with it. But it was like one of those places where the elite meet to eat and greet. And it was super expensive.
The elite meet.
Where the elite meet to eat and greet. And it was super expensive. Not that I paid for any of it, but it was really nice because I had some very nice friends at the time. And the food was worth every single penny they paid for. It was, I don't know, we had 8 courses.
What was the best food you had?
I can't remember. It was just one course after the other.
So it was all sorts of different kinds of food.
It was lots of different kinds of food. Of course,
fusion.
We were sharing. It was very fusion. It was very modern. It was very upscale.
Yeah.
It was super yummy. And then afterwards, we went across the road underneath a pass to Bauthausen, which is sort of like an old institution Berlin bar.
Right.
The little secret, it was the first club to have a female door Türsteher.
Right.
Türsteher.
Really?
And
a female bouncer.
And I think they've always had women bouncers. And the woman was super cool. We go inside there. We had some drinks, and I spent 45 minutes talking to Till Schweiger and who was the fella, Austrian guy? He played Kommissar Rex after Moretti. Younger fella, like when they rebooted Kommissar Rex. You know what
I
I'm
don't
talking
remember.
about.
I know who you mean, yeah.
That guy. I mean, and I ended up talking to those two guys at the bar for like 45 minutes. And we were it was like one of those super magical nights. It was my birthday. The food was amazing. We had a celebrity sighting. There were drinks. There was dancing. It was
cool.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's just one of them. I don't have a favorite one. There was just
well, my recent most favorite one
was
this place, also in South Africa, in Paradise Beach, well, near Paradise Beach. And it was a restaurant right on the beach.
Right.
And you took off your shoes and you went in barefoot.
Oh,
Because
nice.
it was in the beach. It was like in the beach sands. The whole restaurant's like in the sand.
Yeah.
And they also did this amazing seafood platter. It was like having a really, really high-class picnic on the beach.
On the beach. I think the restaurant experience, for me, and I think for you too, so much of it is the ambiance. It's how it is. The food has to be really great, but it's the ambiance. And so much of it has to do with that. So for example, Gideon Burdikat, that was the guy. Anyway, the ambiance is so important because you can have some shitty food, but if the ambiance is really good, you can overlook it.
Not really.
All right.
Me no.
I can overlook it.
Me no.
For me, ambiance is number one because I can eat just about anything. Of course, I want to have really, really good food, and when the two come together, that is where the magic is. But for example, I can also get along with really good food and not great ambiance. There was a while where I was searching for the best Caesar salad, and I would have a Caesar salad in every city when I was on tour. And I was looking for it, and I was in Riga in Latvia.
My God.
And at a restaurant, and it was a nice place.
It was like the one day that they had salad in that year.
It was a nice place. It was like sort of an upscale Italian kind of place, but it wasn't any like super great shakes, but it was a nice place.
Yeah.
It had the best Caesar salad I have ever had in my life. And I had to go to the kitchen. I went to the kitchen to talk to the chef and tell them that this was the best Caesar salad I've ever had. It was hands down the best one after months of touring, months of searching. And the chef looked at me, and he didn't really speak English. The person next to me, he spoke Latvian, and I got translated. He said, "Thank you very much. We have won an award." And he grabbed me by the shoulders and turned me, and they had won the award for the best Caesar salad.
No way! That's brilliant.
And he was very proud.
Cool.
And I was like,
cool.
Yeah, not a great ambience, but a great experience.
Yes.
And great
food. A food experience that I'll never ever forget is having gnocchi with cheese.
Yeah?
Gnocchi with blue cheese sauce.
Oh, nice.
In Bolzano.
Oh.
And I only had like 20 minutes for lunch.
Right.
And I just kind of walked out of the place I was working, and I went to the first restaurant that I could find, and it was just this like hole in the wall. They had plastic chairs that were cheaper than ours. They were even shittier plastic chairs than these ones, right? And I just ordered the gnocchi, and God, they were so good.
I have had so many best restaurant experiences in Italy.
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, it's difficult not to have a best restaurant experience every time you go to Italy because they just fucking know how to cook.
It is amazing. I am always flabbergasted.
The place was just really cheap. It was all plastic crap.
And
the music was blaring on in
so it's not a great experience.
The ambiance was crap. It was horrible. But the food was amazing. It was homemade gnocchi. They didn't even look like what gnocchi are supposed to look like. They were just sliced up little rolls of it was.
When you go to those places and they come out and they're like, okay, prima parte, we got this and this. What do you want?
You can have this or you can have this.
You can have this or this. What do you want? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Now we got the meat or fish. What do you want?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take that. And it's always amazing.
Yeah.
We went to a place years ago. Friends of mine got married and they were on honeymoon. They went for their honeymoon to Italy. And I went with my girlfriend at the time to visit them on their honeymoon. They'd rented this big place where they had a room for us. And it was like one of those it was like in a walled Italian city, somewhere between Siena and Firenze.
Right, okay.
And
wow.
And they had like this whole sort of villa to themselves. They had a guest room, and at night we would sit in front of this huge fireplace that I could stand in, literally stand in. And that trip, I think I had like the most compact amount of best restaurant experiences
Right.
because that's all we did.
Yeah.
We would go out during the day, drive around, and find a restaurant, and it was.
But was that like these restaurants that these people already knew were good in that area?
Well, no. I mean, they were Americans.
They were just
Americans on.
Okay, so you were all
honeymoon.
exploring together.
We were just all
right?
exploring
Yeah.
together. But in Italy, it was like shooting fish.
I was in
a barrel.
Milano once, and we were in a full restaurant, and we'd all ordered food, and they delivered our vegetables before the meat was done because they were filled beyond capacity,
Yeah.
and the kitchen just wasn't keeping up.
Yeah.
And they just brought this, a big plate of, I think it was broccoli and potatoes
Yeah.
to the table and just plonked it down. And we were fucking starving.
Yeah.
So we started eating this. And it was just broccoli and potatoes.
And it was amazing.
But it was so good that I could have done without the meat.
Yeah.
I could have become a vegetarian in that moment. Because like not only do the Italians fucking know how to cook vegetables, they also have the best vegetables.
Yeah.
If you walk through an Italian vegetable market, you can smell the vegetables.
Yeah. So, you either have to be in Italy or you have to be somewhere rich. Years ago, I had a gig with Dennis where we spent 2 weeks in this 5-star rich man's ghetto on the coast of Portugal.
Yeah.
And we were doing sort of a presentation. We had to do one presentation a week, once a week in these 14 days. And the rest of the time, all we did was go to the buffet every day. And this was one of those places where they had enough money that the buffet was huge
Right.
and deep and varied, and every day was something different. That was, and it was right on the coast. And so that was another one of those amazing restaurant experiences where it wasn't even a restaurant, it was just a buffet.
Yeah.
But it was so amazing.
Yeah. I want to talk about pizza. Verena says pizza in Naples. I've never had pizza in Naples, but I've had pizza in crap.
His mouth.
Lots of pizza in my mouth. There's a special way of making pizza down that southwestern coast of Italy, and I think this is what you mean. It's that very, very thin,
Sicilian
very
crust?
crispy crust.
Do they call it Neapolitan crust or do they call it Sicilian crust?
I think it's the Neapolitan.
Because
It's
Sicilian
extremely thin.
I can never remember.
Like the
Sicilian
base is
either
extremely
really
thin.
Andrew's going to know this. Sicilian is thin or Neapolitan is thin?
Oh man, that is so good. I think the place I'm trying to remember the name of is at the north end of the Bay of Naples. My God, that's the best pizza I've ever eaten in my life.
All right. I want to see here. Let's go back.
Oh, and fucking Thailand.
Yeah, right.
They know how to cook.
Okay, Michael, slow down. Let's do this right. Come on.
Spring rolls
Let's
in Thailand.
do it right. Come on.
Best spring
Slow
rolls.
it down, Michael.
Spring rolls. Spring rolls.
All right, so we got Toxicy 12T13. Dough & Co. on the Stephansplatz. Almost every year I would go to Dough & Co. for dinner for New Year's with some friends of mine. Well, we have now, we started going to, what's the place called? Davia's on around the corner from Dough & Co. You know where the Graben is, and it goes this way toward the Nagelgasse, right across there. Is it Davia's? I don't know. It's really yummy, but Dough & Co. Awesome. Milke, the Stisskellen milk. Yeah, that was awesome. That's awesome. Copper Blossom in Edinburgh. Highway between USA and Canada. Best pizza ever. Yeah. Those road trip pizzas.
Like sometimes you just run into these places, you have a sandwich and you think, my God, we need to import these sandwiches.
Marcus is talking about a restaurant on the Ippenplatz. I remember years ago when Marcus was together with a woman who had a restaurant on the Ippenplatz, and Marcus would cook there sometimes with her. And I think they both learned a lot from each other. She was cool, but I'm glad Marcus is no longer with her. But she had that restaurant, and it was amazing too. They always had really good food. Kathy,
I've never heard of Bordulo.
Bordulo in Hanoi. We have to look that one up. Kathy, put a link.
Yeah, we should go there.
Put a link in there. Let's go there.
Shakey's Pizza.
Andrew knew Shakey's Pizza. I thought it was a chain. Cool. All right, Shakey's. Dang. The only good thing by KFC was mini twister wrap. Yeah.
Well, you're much younger than I am, Toxic. Much younger.
I don't remember how many courses and matching wine on that Valentine's Day dinner. I vaguely remember walking back to the hotel and waking up with the lights on.
You need to go and watch Aussie Man Reviews Mom and Pop going up the stairs.
We've all been that mom and dad going up the stairs. A revolving restaurant on the 23rd floor of the Marriott on Broadway.
That reminded me.
Oh.
Like, best restaurant experience as a kid? My dad took me to this little coffee shop in downtown Johannesburg, and they had a model train. You'd order at the bar, and then the model train that went round the cafe.
Love those places,
would have your drink on it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
I went to one of those places recently.
fucking amazing. I was like,
nice.
My eyes just wouldn't stop, and I was like, what?
I had one of my most favorite dinners also at the Supper Club in Manhattan, which, I have to tell that story, it's a longer story. Windows on the water in Kennebunkport, Maine. Best rack of lamb ever. Four Seasons Boston, best creme brulee, both fine dining with wonderful atmospheres. That's absolutely true. Portland, Maine, my old stomping grounds, is known as the restaurant capital of America. They have more restaurants per capita than any other city in America. That
Really?
It was like, or any other, for a long time. I don't know if it's still true. And so many amazing restaurants, because they started that whole thing, a bunch of hippies in Maine, and so they had farm to table stuff going on for a long time. Street and Co. Oh, so much yummy.
Do you remember that steak that we ate in Chicago in 2012, and that place that was right next to the Airbnb that we stayed in?
The place that,
we got,
oh my God,
we got
those amazing tiles. It was that chicken where they made their own sausages.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had that. We had a very big plate that had very small bits of steak and prawns on it.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good too.
Super yummy. Nini on Mallorca. I've done a lot of Mallorca, but I don't. Oh, wait. I think I may have been there. Was I there with you? We went to a place. We have to talk about that, Jeff. Yes, Mallorca. Marcos Pete.
Muchacho's back.
Muchacho's back.
Banana pancakes
in Thailand.
Yeah. Really good food in Thailand. We should talk about Thailand. We should talk about places to go and eat. Where should we go and eat?
It's just the recommendation chapter. We'll have categories. Okay, so it looks like Slovenia, locale in Slovenia. Neapolitan is the thick one, and
so then it's got to be
it must be the Sicilian is the thin. Oh, Roman style is actually thin and crunchy, says Marcus.
That's the one I mean, yeah.
The Roman style.
I can't remember the name of the town.
Yeah.
But I think we're done.
It doesn't matter. You just go to Italy and order anything, and it'll be super yummy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel for best restaurant experiences. So that was chapter 3. I think we did it. What do you think, Michael?
I think we stuck both feet in.
Yeah.
And we got them burnt nice and wet.
The feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we've done it.
I think we did do it. Before we go, we want to, first of all, say thank you to everyone who has joined us. So, Michael, let's do it as quickly as possible. Marcos, thank you very much. Moko, Andrew.
Christina, Muchacho.
Pavlov's dog.
Verena.
Moko, Verena. Follower of Clay.
Follower of Clay. Philly Girl 1000.
Jeff Vina. Christina.
Toxic.
Kathy Tanner.
Andrew.
Toxic E12T13. Did we do that one already?
L21224.
Yeah, L21224.
Nathan Murrow.
Nathan. Julia.
Hatched MV.
Hatched MV. What else? Who else do we have? Did we miss anybody?
This is just all doubles up. Vienna Theatre Project.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Did we miss anybody? No.
I can't read that fast.
No, we can't read that fast. So thank you all so very much.
Been a doozy of a show. Thank you for being here.
We're always excited when you join us because this is all we got. And so thank you for being here.
We will be slurping again next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
On
8:30.
Thursday.
On
Thursday.
On Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Can we talk about that later? So,
no, we're going home later.
We're going home later?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're going to be back next week. And we hope to see you all very soon. Wasn't there something we wanted to tell? Oh, that's right. I wanted to put in the link to Michael's. Why is the link not working? Michael, say goodbye to the people when I put in the link.
It's been an absolute ball. It's been a gas. Thank you for being here. This has been It Should Be About Something, or as we like to call it, Isbaz. Thank you, you Isbazites, Isbazerkers, Isbazoots, Isbazee,
Isbazoozlers.
and Isboozers. And to all of you slurpy slurpers lurking in the background, thank you for being here as well.
Did it.
We love you all.
Thank you all so very much.
It's been great.
We're going to see you next time.
We're going to go out with a credit roll and a hug, or a hug and a credit roll. What are we going to do? Let's do this one first.
Yeah, let's go.
Hugging it out. Good.
Best Isbaz ever. Good night, everybody.
I think so too. Thank you.